What if owls are messengers for the mystics? Owls have always been seen as mystic animals. Some even think they carry a messenger soul. Let's research a few places of the world and their beliefs about owls. In ancient Egypt, owls were often associated with the goddess of wisdom and knowledge, Isis. The connection between owls and wisdom likely stemmed from the bird's nocturnal habits and its keen senses, which the Egyptians admired and linked to the acquisition of wisdom. Owls were also considered protectors against evil spirits and were sometimes depicted on amulets and other protective objects. However, it's essential to note that beliefs about owls might have varied among different regions and time periods within ancient Egypt. In Mesopotamia, owls held both positive and negative associations depending on the context and time period. Owls were sometimes associated with the goddess Lilitu, or Lilith, who was considered a protective deity. In some contexts, owls were seen as guardians against evil forces. Additionally, owls were sometimes linked to wisdom and foresight, similar to the associations found in other cultures. Their ability to navigate through the darkness of the night may have contributed to this perception. On the other hand, owls were also sometimes viewed as harbingers of death or omens of impending doom. This negative perception likely stemmed from their nocturnal habits and their eerie calls at night, which could be unsettling to some. In certain Mesopotamian texts, owls are depicted as creatures of the underworld or associated with demons and spirits. In ancient Greece, owls were closely associated with Athena, the goddess of wisdom, courage, inspiration, civilization, law and justice, strategic warfare, mathematics, strength, strategy, the arts, crafts, and skill. The owl was considered Athena's sacred bird, and it was featured prominently in Greek art, symbolism, and mythology. Here are some key beliefs about owls in ancient Greece. Symbol of wisdom. Owls were widely regarded as symbols of wisdom and knowledge due to their nocturnal nature and keen senses. Athena, being the goddess of wisdom, was often depicted with an owl perched on her shoulder or nearby. Protector and guardian. Owls were believed to watch over and protect Athena's city, Athens. They were seen as guardians of the city and were revered for their ability to see in the dark, which symbolized vigilance and protection. Omens and prophecies. Owls were sometimes seen as messengers of Athena, delivering omens and prophecies. Their appearance or calls were often interpreted as signs or warnings. Connection to the afterlife. In some Greek myths, owls were associated with the realm of the dead. They were believed to accompany souls to the underworld, acting as guides or messengers between the living and the dead. Symbols of good fortune. In addition to their association with wisdom, owls were sometimes seen as symbols of good luck and prosperity. Owls were featured on coins and other artifacts as symbols of wealth and success. In Maya culture, owls held significant symbolism and were often associated with death, the underworld, and nocturnal activities. Here are some beliefs about owls in Maya culture. Guides to the underworld. Owls were commonly believed to be guides or messengers between the living world and the underworld in Maya mythology. They were thought to have the ability to navigate between realms, making them powerful symbols associated with the afterlife. Omens of death. Owls were often seen as omens of death and misfortune in Maya culture. Their nocturnal nature and haunting calls contributed to the belief that they were connected to the spirit world and could foretell death or other ominous events. Associations with deities. Some Maya gods and goddesses were depicted with owl-like features or were associated with owls. For example, the Maya moon goddess, Ixchel, was sometimes depicted with owl-like characteristics, further emphasizing the connection between owls and the night, as well as the supernatural. Protectors of sacred sites. Despite their association with death, owls were also believed to have protective qualities, especially guarding sacred sites or places of spiritual significance. In this context, owls were seen as watchful spirits that could ward off evil influences. Symbolism in art and glyphs. Owls were frequently depicted in Maya art, pottery, and glyphs. They were often portrayed with large, expressive eyes and distinctive plumage, emphasizing their symbolic importance in Maya culture. Owls frequently appear in Russian folklore, fairy tales, and superstitions. They are often depicted as mystical creatures with supernatural powers, capable of both good and evil deeds. Owls have been depicted in Russian art, literature, and poetry, often as symbols or characters representing various themes such as wisdom, mystery, and the supernatural. What if owls are messengers from the upper and lower worlds to bring mysteries to our middle world? I appreciate you watching my videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching The What If.